Hey folks, it's cold and it's supposed to snow. So what better time to set up a tent thing and try not to freeze. Let's see how it goes. So it's actually snowing right now. It's like an hour or something before it was supposed to start. I don't think we're gonna get a whole lot, but I want to get the tent set up so that this stuff isn't out here getting covered in snow. I think it's warm enough that it's not gonna melt. So I should say cold enough, I guess. That sounded brilliant. Anyway, I don't think it's gonna melt and make everything wet, but I don't really want to take a chance. I don't know how warm everything is on the inside, so we're just gonna set this thing up now. This is a Teton Cot, and it's the extra large. This is actually a camp pillow that I certainly do not want to get wet. So have to find somewhere to put this guy. That'll work. So I've used this cot several times. I've only used the tent one other time, and it wasn't super cold weather. Like tonight's kind of super cold weather. Like any cot in the world, they are finger pinchers if you're not careful. With this one, you have to find the little red thing, and that comes over here where you put it together. It's like a cool way to lock it all together without having to break your neck trying to make it work. Uh-oh. Thing popped off somewhere. There's on this side. Man, that looks gooder. Let's make this bad boy happen here. So the original forecast was up to 6 inches of snow through the day and of course through tonight. So it's about 3:30 right now, and it's kind of just started. It probably started about 3. Every single cot I use has this crap happening. Now this has this weird little thingamajigger. It works pretty good if you can do it just right. Which apparently I'm not getting it right. And this little thing goes in there. That is so cool. That thing works so good. All right, let's get this tent up. This is the tent that's supposed to go on here, that does go on here. Would have been kind of nice if I'd have had that fire going. It has this string. Oops. You just put her down in there and she locks in if you get it right. Almost there. There, yeah, okay, it's in there. Snow out there first, huh? Don't need to put them on. Just grab the snow out of there. There's nothing funner than having a toggle break and come back and crack you in the knuckles when it's snowing and freezing. It actually warmed up a little bit. It's in the mid-20s, I think, Fahrenheit. Ouch. Now this comes with a little rain fly that just covers to here, but we bought the big one for each of our tents that goes all the way to the ground for this kind of purpose, that if the snow keeps coming down, it's going to melt under there. So this thing don't remember how it goes. Well, this is certainly the inside. One way or the other is going on here. There we go. We got her now. Oh, I can see it now. That looks better even when it hooks up. Okay, there's that. Now I need to Velcro these things together. I don't know if we're supposed to get a wind or not. Hope not. Simon says open up a little bit. Okay, so haven't used this yet, obviously. It's a sleeping pad that's designed for this cot, extra large. I think he's gonna work okay. Come on, unhook. Yeah, I like it'll ever go back together like that. Okay. Now this is the minus 35 Fahrenheit sleeping bag. Oh, I got some camera crap here. It's not gonna get that cold here tonight, so everything should be just fine. My little camp pillow that I hope didn't get too wet. This is the power pack. Should go in there. I got a light. The light's waterproof. It's an old Lucy light. These things work great. Okay. As long as we don't get any crazy wind, I think we'll be all right. So I didn't actually get to do any camping last night. When all this snow blew in, it kind of blew in a little faster and a little heavier than what everybody was ready for. There was a lot of wrecks last night. A lot of cars getting stranded. My wife actually got stranded and I had to go rescue her. So by the time I got back, it was like midnight and I didn't really feel like actually cooking out here then. So we're gonna try it again tonight. And it's even supposed to be a little bit colder. I think it's supposed to be 11 degrees Fahrenheit tonight. So it'll be fun. So I'm gonna be making a beef roast and maybe a dog if you don't knock it off in this giant Dutch oven combo thing. It's pretty cool because everything fits in there, but it kind of sucks because it's ginormous. I need a smaller one, but I just don't have one yet. So this is gonna take several hours to cook, and it's gonna take probably an hour or two to get enough coals to cook this properly. So gotta get the fire started. So it's warmed up to about 17 degrees now, and I actually don't feel too bad in the sun. It's gonna take a while for this to cook down into a nice thing of coals. I've got some other firewood over here, and yeah, it'll probably take a couple hours to cook this roast. So I got these little thermometer thingamajiggers, one for inside and one for outside. We'll see how, if there's a difference. This will stay inside the tent tonight. And of course this will be hanging in a tree somewhere out here, and or somewhere. We'll see if there is even a difference. I imagine there will be. I imagine my body temperature will be enough to at least make a noticeable difference. Let's get this bad boy straightened out here. See what we've got. There's some good things. All delicious. This was a roast that I bought as a kit from a local big box store. I don't remember the price, but it's a beef roast, and it comes with their seasoning. Now I've done this 100 times and I never like that seasoning. So I'm just gonna put some beef base seasoning, turns into broth. You put 2 teaspoons, I guess, and it becomes a cup. That's what's going in here, and a little can of mushrooms, because why not? I typically do the vegetables first, just because they're cleaner. This is one of the 4-ounce cans of mushrooms. And I keep the juice and everything in there. Try to do this without getting it everywhere. The blood and everything goes in there. Just realized I didn't bring a fork with me. So, I don't want that done. I'll just throw this in the fire. Like I said, I don't use that seasoning. So I'm gonna kind of just guess on the amount of, that might be a cup. It's half frozen. That might be enough. I hope my water isn't frozen, but I have a feeling it is. Yeah. Completely frozen. There's my water. Now for now, I'm gonna have to get one of these in here, just get all the juices going, I guess. If you ever use beer for cooking, you gotta be really careful. The saltiness is amplified. Oh, and all the alcohol just evaporates off. Can't really drink too much alcohol anymore, so that'll get us started anyway. Wow, his hands are freezing. I'm gonna try to thaw my water out. No idea how long that's gonna take. Probably all night. There's that seasoning packet that didn't burn. Wonderful. Try to keep the fire on one side, I guess, and kind of just use the coals here to cook a little bit, I suppose. Okay. I already noticed something about this. You can see, move a water jug over here, right there. This lid, if it's not lined up perfectly, there's little holes. So any ashes will go right down in there. So I kind of got to keep her like that. We'll just hopefully not boil this shit too quick. See what happens without damaging it too much. Alright, so I had to go back and get some water, and I'm gonna just cook that in straight Bud Light. I think that might be highly illegal, according to ever. Oh yeah, she's already boiling. Way too hot already. Yeah, I gotta move that. That bad boy ain't gonna work just like that. Okay. This is starting to thaw out a little bit. Don't really have to worry about the fire spreading. No concern about this stuff right here, as it's not going to go anywhere because there's snow everywhere. Okay, so I hung this thing up here on this little stick sticking off this tree. That's just maybe, I don't know, 15 steps away from the tent. Let's see if there's a difference. Of course, one-handed. $28 outside, $43 inside. That's without any body heat. I don't believe that 28. Still, well, the sun's shining on it, I guess. And the sun's kind of shining on the tent, so that's making it 48 in there. That's kind of cool. Let's see. It's looking pretty doggone good. actually remembered to get a fork this time. Yeah, good. It's not overcooking. The onions falling apart nicely. Potatoes are still kind of hard, a little bit soft actually. Good. Good, it didn't cook too fast. Ever so gently. Ever so gently. Looks pretty cool. We're losing light, so kind of gotta be, it's gotta be done. I do have my other gloves. So I kind of checked it and tore it a little bit, and it's very tender. Not as tender as I'd like it to be, which it will be here, I don't know, maybe in another hour. It's absolutely cooked. I can cut it apart with a fork, so that's saying something there. See, she's done. It's just gonna have to be done enough. Come on, little carrot. Okay, I'm gonna set this feller down and get some juicy poo here. Oh, I got some rolls. I bet they're frozen right now, though. There's some mushrooms. Okay, I'm gonna put this back on the fire. So I was gonna enjoy my roll with a little bit of butter, but my butter is kind of frozen. Have to thaw that out before that happens. Oh yeah, that's good. Can't see the steam probably because of the smoke, but it's pretty warm. Even the rolls kind of hard too out here. Not so squishy. And this smoke is kind of a pain right now. Man. So, I don't know if you can see it. Pretty good. So, not surprisingly, it's cold. Got a little GoPro I'm gonna set up somewhere here for a time lapse. We're losing light. It actually looks a lot brighter in the camera than it does actually here. So, gonna start shutting her down. Man, this smoke is always following me. Actually, you know what? Let's flip the camera. Can I do that here? Okay, that's oh cool, the light turned on automatically. Let's see, can you see what it is? Of course you can't see what it is. I see 14 out and 32 in. That's with no heat in here at all. So, in the tent, it's very small. I have one of these little LED lights. It's small in here. It's very small. The first thing I realized when coming in here was it's a pain in the ass to get in the sleeping bag. You got to get outside, take your clothes off because you don't want to bring that snow and stuff in. So, whoops, you probably want to see me, don't you? Or not. And in here, it's very small. My head, I'm 6'1". My head is kind of touching this part here, and my feet are almost touching. If I stretch out, my feet touch the bottom. Still much roomier than the Cabela's ones that are kind of square. This one you can kind of sit up in. There we go, we got more light. Oh, that's centered. We don't want that. Here, let's do that. That work? Okay, 13 outside, still 32 inside. So that's kind of cool. This is what I mean, like, my feet are right here. Now, I'm very warm in this thing, but there's dust flying around apparently. It's kind of cool. This little light is just a little solar rechargeable thingamabobber. See, my head's right here. It's tight. It's gonna be tight. But I already feel much warmer in the sleeping bag, and I really see no problem sleeping here tonight. So, got the time lapse going, and I'm just gonna shut her down and see what tomorrow brings. Well, good morning, everybody. Not surprisingly, it was a little chilly. It's still a little chilly. It says 2 degrees, which is negative 17 Celsius, 2 degrees Fahrenheit. It said 32 degrees all night on the inside, so maybe this part just doesn't go colder than 32. It's already showing low battery, and I just put new batteries in it yesterday, so apparently the cold was pretty rough on this one. I was pretty warm inside the sleeping bag. My face got a little cold. I didn't wear this to bed. I thought it was going to be too much. I kind of wish I would have. I'd have been able to cover up a little bit better. I was plenty warm in the sleeping bag. I had to get up one time in the middle of the night to answer the call of the wild. And I unzipped everything as fast as I could and put my boots on. Ran over to my favorite bathroom tree. And by the time I got back, my toes were actually starting to get numb. So I peeled the boots off and jammed back down in the sleeping bag. It took a little bit, maybe 2 minutes, where I finally started getting warm again. Kind of just kept moving around, kept wiggling, kept tensing up my muscles and relaxing. Then I finally got warm. The wind died down significantly last night. There was nothing. It was dead quiet. And I was surprised that I could actually hear something walking around the woods. I think it was probably a deer or maybe a raccoon or something. I suppose they were probably interested in what I was doing here. I was going to play a little bit of radio last night. I was going to put up an end-fed wire up through the trees and then run the coax inside the tent and kind of tool around and see who was on. But I forgot to do that until I was already in the tent. So I decided to just use this telescopic 40-meter antenna, and I'm using the Zygu X5105. It's a QRP, battery-powered, or AC powered, or DC powered too by that. A little ham radio transceiver. Okay, let's see who's on 40. So it's a little bit too cold to be doing this out here right now. Not very much dexterity without freezing my hand off. That's the end bed I was going to put up maybe next time if I remember. This trip's kind of been plagued with disappointment. Not disappointment, failures, I guess. So it should probably go without saying that it's pretty dangerous temperatures. If you're going to do this, you got to be careful. At least have an escape plan. Mine was to get on the four-wheeler and go if I got too cold, but strangely enough, the four-wheeler won't start this morning. I was actually going to make coffee over the fire too, but I didn't bring the water in with me, so it's rock hard. The fire is actually still smoking a little bit, but I think it's time to pack up and get on out of here. It's supposed to get up to 40 degrees today, if you believe that. So everything's going to turn into a muddy mess. So got to get all this taken down and packed out of here. Well, I guess that's it. I know it's kind of a weird cobbled together video, but that's typically how my videos go. So I appreciate you watching. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing. And as always, have a good one. Keep your powder dry.